Yo, you listening to the Oprah Rose Show with TT and Gigi, and yeah, get it poppin'.
Thoughts. Everything begins with thoughts.
She's a slut, she's a hoe, she's this, she's that.
We say to girls, you can have ambition, but not too much.
It's about people being uncomfortable with women owning their sexuality.
What is the truest, highest vision that you hold for yourself?
I'm a real ass bitch, and I'm gonna get everything that I'm gonna get on my own.
I know for sure. You don't get what you wish for. You get what you believe.
It's GG and TT and DD and yeah.
Get it poppin'.
Get it poppin'.
Thoughts. Everything begins with thoughts.
Okay.
Everybody's TT. What's going on, everybody? It is Mr. Oprah Rose. Well, I don't know. Am I Mr. Oprah Rose? Because Daryl is Mr. Oprah Rose.
I don't need the mister.
Oh,
hello.
so
It's cool.
Hello. Right, hello.
Okay.
Childish. But yes, welcome. This is episode 200.
Woo.
Cannot believe
Y'all
it.
are
Crazy.
official
Nigga.
podcasters.
Man.
200. If the listeners at home, if you don't know, but you probably do know, I am Mouse Jones, a.k.a. the man that puts jux in juxtaposition, also known as the secret producer of
The secret
the
producer.
Oprah Rose Show.
The ghostwriter.
I am the ghostwriter.
ghostwriting producer.
You know,
The Oprah Rose Show.
You know, I
Right.
came
He's
in
Queen
during
Miller.
the transition period, and you know, we've been on the up and up. And you know, I'm just the quiet guy in the back. I love.
What
to
was
see.
the transition?
Right. What was the transition period?
Yeah, I went from decent to amazing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Like, there's a bomb in the Gilead.
Okay.
Medicine used in the Bible days. Wow, so 200. So I want to talk to you guys about your journey to 200. First and foremost, I think the question that is on all your listeners' mind is, how did the Oprah Rose Show become the Oprah Rose Show?
Like with the name?
The bigger than the name, I think just the podcast itself. Like, podcasts are bigger than, well, you would hope that podcasts are bigger than just people sitting in a room talking, right? You're
Right.
literally creating the foundation for a community, right? Like, your listeners become a part of the community. Then, you know, now we got Patreon and there's live shows. This is an actual community. People tune in to hear you guys. You guys help people throughout their week, throughout their day, throughout their problems. If anybody writes into y'all, that lets you know just how much y'all words mean to people. So the Oprah Rose Show, y'all created a community. I want to know, when did that begin? Whose idea was that? How did y'all come together and say, okay, we're setting the groundwork for this foundation?
Such a loaded question. I mean, I think, you know, obviously the show started off with just G and I. We have kind of explained how we got started. And G and I, we met working together at Motown, and we would have, this is when, you know, G-Chat AIM was big. So we used to always have G-Chat conversations and be kikiing at work. You know, you're supposed to be working. We wasn't, child. And then
Not ever.
not ever. And then I think we had another colleague was like, you guys should have a podcast. And at the
What
time,
year is this?
yeah, I was saying that was like 2000.
12? 11?
I was gonna say 9, but you also know I have no concept
actually,
of
I'm
time.
forgetting.
When then somebody said to do the podcast?
Yeah.
And did you guys, that's why I asked, because were you guys aware of podcasting?
No. Then no.
No.
No. And I think it was like, oh, you crazy as shit. Like,
Yeah.
anybody doing that. It was like 2010. And then
Because I think it was like they were saying a show. There wasn't like a specific
podcast.
pod.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right, right. 'Cause
Because
I'm
I
like-
don't think.
I'm like, yeah, they had
Like
to
I
be.
think we knew.
it might have been a show.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Because if y'all didn't, y'all owed them a check. Because if y'all should have definitely been on it 2010.
I
Y'all
know,
would have
right?
been the biggest thing. There were no
Yeah, there was
black
podcasting,
voices in
yeah.
podcasting
Yeah.
at
No.
the time. I think you had, at the time, you had Juan Ep, you had It's the Real, and even they were not doing a waste of time with It's the Real. They were still just doing these lofty
Oh yeah.
sketches.
Yes,
They were doing like
uh-huh.
more like
Right.
recorded sketches they were
Right.
doing. So podcasting really hadn't been a thing. So if y'all would have started back then,
We'd be millionaires.
Millionaires.
That's
Child.
okay.
Right.
I mean,
It's the journey.
I mean,
The last-
trust me, the three of you are definitely on
We're
the
well on our way.
well on the way.
We talked
know.
about it. Right.
There's no
about
shortage
being where
of
you
the
are.
millionaires here. Okay,
Being where you are. We talked about that
where were you
last week. But
Where were you guys mentally, emotionally? Where were you guys as women at that
Oh
time.
my God.
We were a hot
Hot
fucking
mess.
mess. I think that's also kind of why we started to grow, because we were really relatable. And we were very honest about, I think, a little bit of oversharing.
A little bit, a lot of it. It was a whole lot of bit of oversharing, TMI.
You know, but that's what people love, because, you know, I think the reassuring thing is that you're not alone, even when you're experiencing something that may be embarrassing, sad, or even like, you know, happy joy moments. We haven't hesitated to share like our highs, our lows, and just overall our experiences as women. So I am not embarrassed or ashamed or regretful of having overshared, of having like
I am. Speak for yourself, sis.
But I think y'all did a good job of it, because I was even like a fan of the show before I worked on the show and became a part of the show. And I think like those first 50 episodes were very honest. And you all were just very open and being like, no more parties in LA. And me
that
having
episode.
that episode is
episode
like, if y'all have never heard
4.
that one, it's like episode 4 or something crazy.
Are we still hiding episodes?
No, and they're not. And you know, I hate that episode so much.
But I would have conversations with TT about these things that were going on. And so to hear both of your stories and be like, oh, girl, what? I didn't hear that part of the story, because G fills in the gaps kind of thing. So I really appreciated hearing how vulnerable y'all were. And, you know, sometimes we talked about even going back to that a bit, because I think once we actually had structure to the show and understood what we wanted to talk about, that vulnerability kind of left a little bit, because everything was very like by the script. And so I do miss that a little bit. So we might have to add that more.
And I think as we grew, we also just like grew as individuals. You know, I think it, again, we also talked about this. It's very difficult for me to be vulnerable now. And so, you know, I think as I've like grown professionally and, you know, and everything
Does
we're doing.
Mr. Oprah Rose want to say something?
No, I'm just listening, child.
Okay.
Just listening.
Fly
on the wall.
It's something that I struggle with, and I think, you know, because we really did not know what we were doing. Not even that we didn't know what we were doing in the beginning, but it was just fun. I think initially it was like low key, like a therapy. It was therapeutic. It was like a diary that you didn't have all these like, oh, I can't say this, I can't do that. No one's gonna hear this, because initially, you know, it was just like, ain't nobody gonna hear this. I can say whatever.
Right.
You know, where now it's definitely a little bit more reserved.
When was the first time you realized that is not the case?
Somebody said something that I said, and I was like, oh, I don't like that. Like, you know,
they like repeated back to you.
Yeah, like something, a story, and I was like, oh, I don't think I like that. Like, I don't like that. It was something funny, but I remember just being like, I didn't like it. Like, I didn't, not even that you were pulling my coattail because I said it, but I just was like, I don't think I like that.
It's giving your slipper showing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I was like, I don't like that.
Well, let's talk about that, right? Because you guys, one, I want to circle back to what G said earlier. You said oversharing. You specified it as oversharing. Why do you feel it's oversharing, especially in spaces, especially when you guys came out? There weren't any spaces where Black women were, you know, exploring the industry, experiencing the industry, which is completely different for women today. There are no spaces where these stories are being told and these lives are being exposed. So why did you feel it was oversharing? Like, where, I guess, in your mind, where did you have the line that was like, this is okay, and now we're over here?
Because I think before I didn't have the ability to have a little bit of tact. You know, I think now to me that's important. Like, although I still want to be as authentic as I possibly can, which that isn't really an issue for me. But I think the way that, you know, we shared in our earlier episodes, you know, being fucked up every time you like record,
literally
warrants, you know, you did not really think about what you say. And then hearing it back sometimes is a little cringeworthy. So I would say that, but I don't really have any regrets. However, I think it was just like the way we would kind of share stories and or at least for me, the way I would share it in you know, before in the earlier days. So
that leads me to the question I really want to ask, which is, at this point, which all three of you have, you know, reached mile marker successes, you guys are still part of underserved, underrepresented communities, right? But you got this podcast just existing is like a stand, right? It's a I don't want to say it's a point of contingency, but it's a protest, right? Just this space existing the way it exists with 2 black women, a gay black man, it's a protest. It's, no, we're not doing this, we're doing this. How do y'all find it in yourselves to continue to do that? Like Daryl just said, like, continue to be yourselves, your authentic selves, and still put out this product, but not, I guess, muddy the waters.
Yeah. I mean, shit is always happening. I feel like life, it just continues. And I know we've done 200 episodes. And I'm sure we've talked about similar themes and similar concepts, but it's just evolving. And I think y'all got to forgive my voice. I've been screaming all night. Child.
The girls were out last night.
I was out last night. Y'all probably listening to this like, what's going on with you? Child.
Yeah! He had the gun in the mimosa.
Gun in a mimosa. Yes, literally. That was me last night on LEI.
I got a new 4G's on it.
Literally that.
Literally, that's why I said that. Because mine is the same way. It is going in and out. My voice.
Your voice?
Yeah.
Like we were out. We was in the outside. So
we was in the outside.
We was in the outside. Right.
I love Daryl.
In the outside.
Because $100 is $10 now.
Hello.
So
Literally.
over 200 episodes, I feel like we've just connected with people. Like, I find it so fucking dope when our listeners actually like respond to our personal pages and like talk about the things that we've talked about on the show. I actually had a guy come up to me one day in the gym and just talk about the fact that he was excited to always listen on Wednesdays because he doesn't hear our voices anywhere else. And I was like, wow, that's interesting to me because there's so many podcasts now.
So many.
And when y'all started podcasting, it wasn't that many kind of thing. And so now it's been like a boom. But I was just like, that's just so dope to me for somebody to just hear the bullshit that we going through and feel as though he can connect to that. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like life just continues. So it's always going to be shit to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think, I have a love-hate relationship with social media. And it's like when you just see everyone's perfectly curated, picture-perfect lives and, everything looks so perfect and no one's ever sharing, like, the lows and the valleys of stuff. It's like, no, shit is not okay all the time. Like, it's not, everything is not, a Dior bag and a trip or whatever else. Like people really go through stuff. And I think especially for younger generation specifically, I think it's so important for them to hear that and know that, because everybody thinks that shit is like overnight, or you're I don't know, you become an influencer or you get this dream job or whatever it is in like a month, and it's like there's steps, and all of that is a journey. And I never want like I said, younger generations to ever like lose sight of there is a journey to the steps, and it's never going to be overnight, any of it.
And I want to even piggyback off of that too, because I even think about the show, and obviously we've been doing this. Y'all been doing it for longer than I have, and it's been over 5 years. And
a gag.
Gigi.
A gag.
When I tell you, Gigi will always be on top of us. Like, we got to do this ad. We got to show up here. We got to do this and we got to do that. And be like, yes, Gigi, we're going to do it, bitch. Like, because I remember we were supposed to do, an episode because we had an ad opportunity, and we were like, child, we might have to just forego that little money. But what I love is that the show has even taken on a new life, and part of that is also just showing people like it's a journey, and we've been doing this for such a long time. We didn't start off with ads and shit, like, and then when people hear it, they're like, "Oh my god, y'all!"
What was an ad?
Like an ad, like just a company looking at our show and being like, "Oh, we want to like partner with y'all." Like, that's still dope to me, even if somebody hits us up tomorrow about it.
Which we have one more. Perfect segue. Again, as soon as we leave here, we are going to celebrate our 200th episode.
Okay, we're getting some French fries, bitch. I'm loving it.
Yes. I know y'all are so sick and tired of hearing
No, we love it coming from you, doll.
The ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Yes.
Do it one more time. Sing it for us.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm loving it. You know what? What's your favorite thing to get at McDonald's? You know, we've talked about our
Tory
love
Burch Flats.
We have talked about our love of a quarter pounder with cheese. Mine is no pickles, no onions, a fry, and an apple pie. What is your favorite thing to get at McDonald's?
French fries. That's it. I don't eat that mess.
Oh my God.
Hey, did you hear what I just said before? You said the comment how I was proud. Right.
Listen, that's y'all. That's y'all. Y'all supposed because y'all are the Oprah Rose Show.
Aren't you Mr. Oprah Rose?
I am Mr. Oprah Rose, which means I am a guest.
Mr. Oprah Rose.
All right,
show
recut it. Ask me again. Because I really was annoyed. I was like, all right, ask me again.
Annoyed at what?
Because McDonald's.
We don't cut.
Child, I'll eat the fries. You know I eat the fries. See how you watch me eat the fries. Everybody has seen me eat the goddamn fries.
We are literally gonna
fries have me in a fucking chokehold. I can't get rid of them. That fucking apple pie. Shit is so good.
On that note, we have to pause for our McDonald's ad, and we are going to celebrate with our favorite. My favorite, a quarter pounder with cheese. No pickles, no onions. No pickles, no onions. Mm-hmm. Love that thing.
And that's gonna come out fresh because you get it a little altered.
Yeah, exactly. Use your fucking sandwich. You know what I
make that right now.
Put my kufi on with my red eyes. Yes. Like, yes.
And if you want fresh fries, get them with no salt.
Really?
That's because anytime they got to alter it, they got to make it fresh.
Yeah. Okay. Mm. You gonna get salt on your French fries?
Oh yeah, you gotta get me salt on them things.
I need a little salt.
Kill me. If I'm going to die, kill me. Don't play with it.
I'm gonna do it. Right?
Yeah, bury me with some McDonald's French fries and an apple pie and a sundae. What? Yeah, bury me a G. Okay.
No, they gonna.
But I'm the Oreo McFlurry though. That's
Oreo McFlurry girl.
Now, what McDonald's do you go to that you can actually get the Oreo McFlurry?
Elkhart.
Elkhart's finest.
Elkhart.
Where the ice cream machine always works.
The ice cream machine always works at Elkhart.
Yes.
I believe it because it don't work nowhere else.
Shout out to McDonald's.
Back to the show. Shout out to McDonald's.
It was given very Soul Train midday WB Black McDonald's commercial. That's what that was giving.
It was. But that's the show. It's fucking relatable. And that's what I love about when people listen to it. I even listen back. I remember when I first started coming on the show, I hated my voice. And
so I remember that.
It was like hard to like listen back and being like, "Ooh, girl, you sound crazy." Mm-hmm. Sorry, I use women pronouns for myself.
We know that.
I was about to say y'all are a different level.
For you too, also.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Right.
I was about to say y'all are a different level of successful on this podcast because I never heard that introspection before. I use female pronouns for myself. Just want to let you guys know. I never heard that preference before. Shout out to you.
Sometimes you gotta let people know. They don't be knowing what's going on. They're like, did he just say she?
Right, but he's male presenting.
And be confused.
Right.
It's confusing.
Early on, I was very confused. I would hear you and some voice say that, and I'd be like,
and you know everything is female. About? Like be like, pass me her, and it would be
everything
a glass.
Is a woman.
Like everything.
The first time I heard Tiara and G say she's cute, and they were talking about like liquor, and I was like, what? It's inanimate. How?
Everything.
Yeah. She's cute.
Yeah.
Yes. We love our gay slang.
Love it.
Love it. Gotta pay homage because that's where it comes from.
It is, yeah. We love it.
It can take over your vocabulary if you like.
It really can.
It has.
And I use it at work.
I do too. Absolutely. No, I really do.
I try to think about what I'm going to say before I say it so I don't say, like, I don't want to be at work in a meeting talking about, yeah, she's carrying. Like,
not being mean talking about boots.
I think, right.
You should pull that out one time at the work.
But honestly, no, I do. I think it's still... I mean, granted, if you work, if you're like a CPA, right. Or something like that. But like if in spaces that aren't as traditional, I think it is so important, like to use the same vernacular and be the same person. Right. I literally called someone she the other day. It was like an artist. And was like, I don't like her. That's what it was. I was like, I don't like. Somebody was like, male artist. And I was like, I'm sorry. I was like that. I was like that. Him. Like but certain things, I'm like, no, y'all are gonna get this. Everybody, like, you cannot buy this culture. I feel like so we have to literally be us, which is even going back to the show, like in every aspect of everything to try to like fully be ourselves. I think it's very, very important.
And that's what I was gonna ask next. Has this podcast, doing this podcast for 5 years, has it emboldened you? Has it caused you guys to show up as yourselves everywhere outside of, instead of having to live this is podcast DD, this is podcast Gigi, this is podcast TT, and this is work TT, this is work Gigi, this is work DD. Like, has it broken that wall for you?
Absolutely, because I used to compartmentalize. I would think that, especially when you work like in white America or corporate America, excuse me, but just AKA white America. You get, I don't want to say insecure because I was never insecure, but you kind of gatekeep or code switch or whatever. And then, one day I was like, I'm not going to do this anymore. Like I am a disservice to myself. Like you said, T, I'm a disservice to myself and I'm a disservice to who I represent, not being me 100%. Now I would never like hide who I am, but I would like reel it in a little bit, and now I don't do none of that shit. Like you're going to get me 1000%. I'm going to show up as myself, and if you don't like that, that's fine. But, I got more respect, I think, that way, from and there are people who, don't like it, but I like I said, I don't really care.
That means you're doing something right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
Absolutely. If I'm being 1000% me, you have a problem with me being me. Okay. I am being me the best I can be then.
I mean, you was a lot though. But
I was like, listen, child, you wrote the textbook. You wrote the textbook on that. Child.
No, this is about the Oprah Rose Show. Just want to continue.
But going back to G and the code switching, I always had a difficulty with that because I think being a gay black male, code switching is a thing. Like I gotta show up in different spaces for different people. But what I love now is, and even with the show, it kind of brings it all together for me. And I think even like the pandemic helped from a work perspective because I'm home. Like, so I'm not about to, present myself in this way that I probably would have in this corporate setting. I'm home. So y'all go and get who I am in this space because I can't turn it on and off because Six's Poppy gonna come out and ask me something and I'm gonna respond to him in a way that I'm not talking to you. I'm not doing all that.
Yeah.
Like the hell? Where's Oliver?
where the hell is Oliver?
Where the dog at?
Where's Oliver?
But yeah, I do think the show, to your point, Mouse, has definitely helped me, especially in that being able to just speak more and speak openly and be who I am and, she, her, his, and all the things. All the things.
Yes, all the things.
Double T's. T to the second power.
I think for me, it actually helped just to like organize my thoughts a little bit more. I have a lot of tabs open at times.
Oh, you know what? Not to cut you off. Please don't forget what you were saying, but it really actually made me think about that because yesterday when we were talking outside of the show, we were just talking. And you were talking about how Ryan shared this meme with you and how you story tell, and how it absolutely makes no fucking sense.
None.
But the people who are close to you can like. We speak Tiara, if that makes sense.
You have to speak.
Chanel
you have to speak
Tiara.
fluid
You
Tiara.
understand exactly what she's saying.
I'm a horrible storyteller.
But on the show, you're perfect.
I can like we ain't gonna say perfect, but like.
Did y'all read that?
Okay, we have a friend. We have a friend in the studio trying to tell an example. We have a guest.
We have a guest.
Damn, I'm like, damn. Chanel was a former guest. She was like a very early episode.
Right, episode 10.
Were you the very first guest?
No, I wasn't the first.
No, it was Dwayne. My bad. Dwayne was. Okay.
Wow, hi guys.
Hey girl.
I just had to jump in because this was literally like a month ago and she was at Trader Joe's. And she's like, girl,
I'm on Bram.
She's like, girl, I was at Trader Joe's and this man was dying and Mouse is giving CPR. But yeah, I bought some flowers. And I'm like, wait, what? And I was like, and I had to like piece it together. And then in the end, I was like, backtrack.
So did he live?
Exactly. I was
so
like,
many questions.
Did he die?
Why
are we talking about
Zoom?
flowers? And she's like, but yeah, girl, this is what you need to pick up from Trader Joe's because but yeah, he's fine. He's still alive somewhere over there.
His life.
Was that what happened? Yeah. Exactly.
He gave CPR.
It wasn't CPE, but he like
the Heimlich.
I gave him a chest rub and then like just gave him water.
Where you learn that? I didn't know.
Dumas has like 60,000 lives. He has.
You like in the Navy or something?
Yeah, he has 60,000
right.
lives.
Okay, so then got it.
And you know me, I was standing there like he was helping this poor man. He was a homeless man.
But that's the thing. Like she gave me no context, so I literally had to piece it together. And then regurgitated back to her and was like, did I get this right? And she's like, oh yeah, girl, let me just tell you. But it was like an hour and a half into the conversation. And it started, literally picked up the phone. Oh yeah, girl, I was at Trader Joe's. This man was dying. Mouse gave him CPR. But yeah, girl, these flowers. And this is what you, and I was like.
They had octopus too. You know they got octopus now. And they ran out of lotion. Like I was probably more focused on.
So,
all that same day.
But she wouldn't know it was the same day. So yes.
Well, I'm trying to do a little better, and I think the podcast does help me to structure my thoughts a little bit more. And I think just also with like public speaking, it's not as I think I don't get as like nervous. I am very shy in those settings. But it doesn't make me as shy. I guess just from like doing it every week.
+1.
Yeah, that I'm like, oh, okay, I can like do this. Like I got this. This is fine.
Yeah. I hate public speaking.
I hate it.
Now I can talk to anybody. I mean, I can always talk to anybody on a one-on-one setting kind of thing, but presenting my ideas to a group of people, I'm like, oh my God, I'm nervous.
It's scary. Yeah. I always like start with a joke and then be like, okay, didn't
that breaks the ice.
Well, yeah.
Like, all right.
That's why people do icebreakers.
Yeah, I
remember the live show. We were nervous. And then we got up stage and it
was
fine.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. I was just wanted to say, like, ever since Daryl's been on this show, like, I would never have gotten that about you because I have had one-on-one interactions with you. So when you came on the show, I would have never gotten that. I was like, oh, this is his space. This is where he thrives even more because I already always enjoyed your energy.
I didn't really speak till I was like 16, so.
Not 16. Wow.
Literally.
All right, y'all. I'm about to go back to my seat.
You would never know.
So who would you talk to? Your sister?
No, she was younger than me.
Thank you, Chanel. Thank you. Clap it up for Chanel.
Clap it up.
Thank you,
Hip Hop Love Child.
So, Daryl, let's talk about you.
Okay.
Right? The DD of the TT and GG, right?
Yeah.
What was your introduction to the show? Like, how did you go from being a listener to being producer to now being producer talent?
Right, because now Alyssa's producer now.
Hello?
Okay.
Stop playing with Alyssa like that,
Stop
nigga.
playing on Alyssa name.
Okay.
Prolissa.
Per.
They call her Big Purr.
Okay.
Please bye.
But yeah, I was a fan of the show. Loved it. Listened to the first episode. I loved it.
Because you and Tiara grew up together.
Basically.
Okay.
Well, that's y'all got to listen to 197.
Yeah,
we
a couple
actually
episodes
did
ago we talked
an episode just for like Dee because he never I feel like had like a 197 had like an introduction.
Oh my days.
And so with me being on, I didn't talk about this part on that episode, but I was actually a guest. It was episode 36, Drunken Hot
Better
Girls.
remember. Yeah, with Kenny.
With Kenny. We came to Brooklyn
Canard.
City's old place with the high ceilings, sounds bouncing off the walls.
Oh my goodness.
We had that singular mic.
We were surrounded with
It
one
was
mic.
Nas one mic, child. Yeah, it was definitely giving Clubhouse one mic.
And so I remember
Let me
one
land.
mic.
Come on, land it. Land.
And so
Hey, big dog, you got land, bro. Let me know when you're ready, big dog. They're gonna be like, come on, big dog, you got land.
I love that. The fact that it's also Clubhouse vernacular is crazy.
Clubhouse vernacular.
And I think during that episode, I remember leaving and being like, this is a dope ass concept. Like, I enjoyed talking about just things that were going on with me that could probably help somebody else. And was like, all right, I'm gonna help you out with your sound. Like, that was my way of like getting in, because I remember just like listening to the show and remembering the first thing you hear is y'all. And I think the sound was just like, all right, we got to figure this out. And that's when we started going to Ty. Ty lived in Harlem. I was like 3 blocks down the street from the studio. So for me, it was just easy to go.
Shout out Ty.
Shout out to Ty. I saw Ty recently. He was on a bike in Harlem, just riding a bike down Lenox, and like yelled my name. I was like, oh my God, Ty.
Ty probably got a whole garden in his backyard or some shit.
Another person that lives many lives.
He gives botany.
So many lives.
But yeah, like doing that, and then, you know, helping the show to come together, and then always being on the mic, and was also hesitant to be on the show. I did not want to be on the show.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to
you kind of fought that.
I think Mouse was like, Didi needs to be on the show.
I've been
This was his
Yeah.
ghost, his
I
first
think-
ghost
yeah, was
writing.
that-
Yeah, I've been
Right.
told. Yeah, but I've been. Yeah, that was easy. That was easy. Like, I had. So when I come on y'all show the first time, I've been podcasting since like 2014, and like I had, you know, as everybody knows, I came up under OG Reg, rest in peace, Combat Jack. tack. So it's just like I have a different ear when it comes to podcasting. So like if ever I'm on someone's podcast, I'm not even really, and I don't know if it's a disservice, but I'm never really like just there. I'm like, all right, this could be better, and this move kind of makes sense. So I remember like just leaving and was like, why is he not a member of the show? And then I just, I was just going on. I'm just like, make Daryl a part of the show. What's wrong with y'all? Like, just make him a part of the show.
It was giving Robin from the Howard Stern show.
Yeah, I ain't like that. I ain't like that.
I actually preferred it to be that way at the time.
Yeah,
but it's different from when you get somebody's opinion, right? Hey, what do you think about what we're talking about?
Right.
Then when you come in and now it's what are we talking about, right? And it's just like if you think about, you put a drop of you just put a drop of ink in the water. The entire cup is now different. You know what I mean? And then saying like, oh well, that's this cup of water and that's this cup of water. No, you drop that just one piece of something else in this thing, and now we have what's here.
Come on, you better say I made it colorful,
right?
Word.
You definitely give a different perspective. Me and T just be like. And then Didi is like,
but yeah, because I'm in one note. Like my voice don't go high,
which is what I remember. I said, I'm like, no, because you guys inflect and you guys are here. Daryl, he cuts through it.
It's just
cuts
like
through it, and it kind of just brings it all back to center.
And I'm losing my voice today, y'all.
Ground us. Ground us.
Come on, Blanca.
Now, how rough is it to keep this show narrative and keep this show relationship? How rough is that when compared to keeping the real relationship?
It's the same. I think it's the same.
Yeah.
We pride ourselves on being friends first because we didn't do the show not knowing.
Real friends.
Okay.
This is twice yesterday. I mean, also, if you go back to, what was that,
the Carter is so slept on, I need to run it back.
We listened to it twice yesterday.
Real ones.
We literally listened to it twice, yes. It's such a great album. But yeah, in referencing 199, like we literally talked about that, like those same issues. And it's a luxury. And I'm so thankful, I always said, to have, we're rooted in friendship. So we don't have like these like petty ass like bickering and whatever issues that just friendships typically have. So so obviously if we don't have that in our friendship, which is, the base of it, like we're not going to have that in the podcast.
Yeah. I think our bickering was somebody's not answering in the group chat.
Yeah,
that's as much as the bickering goes.
That's as much as
and then
goes.
like if Didi doesn't buy a flight to Jamaica, like that's basically
right. That's the end of our friendship.
Put pressure on these niggas. My fault. Get back in.
Fuck both of y'all.
No, my fault. My fault. I'm
if
just
you
the
want me
interviewer.
to go, you can pay for the flight.
I'm just the interviewer. Thanks. This is about Oprah Rose Show.
Aren't you Mr. Oprah Rose?
But this is the Oprah Rose Show. There's no there's no TT, GG, DD, Mousy. There's no. y'all didn't call her in to rework the audio. So I'm still just a guest.
Produce the show, man. Produce it.
Next case.
Next case. So
case.
Speaking of that, right? I want to talk about the actual, like I spoke about earlier, I want to speak about the actual community you guys have built over the past 5 years. What has that been like, seeing your fans, speaking to them, interacting with them? Like, what has that been like?
I mean, it's great. It's like, you'd be like,
because typically you guys are three people who, in your own individual lives and own individual wants, are not people that want it to be in front of the camera, want it to have fans. Everybody does something kind of behind the scenes. So now you guys come together collectively and do this very much in front of the camera thing. And now the people who were behind the scenes, now you have fans. What is that like?
Crazy.
Yeah, there's a little awkward, not like a bad awkward, but when people, express and say like, oh, I really love this, or this meant a lot to me, or, that even little shit like that was funny. It's still always like, damn, you think I'm funny? Like me? I helped you? Oh, shit. Because I don't,
And
I
you
just
probably
live
be
my
high
life
when
for
they
me.
say it.
No, I do not be high. What depends on what time of the day.
G be like,
Depends on what time of the day.
really? I did that?
Not with
I
that
said
face.
that? Okay.
Now that is real. I said
The
that
eyes,
because
with
it's
the
real.
eyes closed and
Eyes
all.
closed. Right.
Eyes halfway closed. Yes, but there's immense gratitude there. Like so much gratitude to be had when people relate to what you've been through. whether it be good things, bad things. Because we live for us, but it's always refreshing when, you just connect with, and that continues to happen. We continue to connect. And that alone lets me know that we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Plus one.
Yeah. I mean, to Mouse's point, we're and what we do in our lives, we are in the background helping other people in their careers kind of thing. So even doing this show is putting us in the forefront. And I remember when we had that party, A Time for Love or a Text Back, and this guy was like, he was like, "You're Dee Dee because I can hear your voice," and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, but
so
the show,
another Mouse Jones production.
Early on,
just the name. Okay.
Yeah, the name.
Y'all
Yeah,
giving him too much.
child, they're giving me just enough. They're giving me my things. Okay,
We're just affirming the
I'm
ghost
burning
writing.
the flowers. Okay,
right.
I'm joking.
Quentin Miller was on his recognition.
Quentin Miller is always working.
Yeah, Quentin Miller wants all his flowers.
and I got 2 feet,
I
child.
hate you.
He has one.
I hate you.
Where have you been?
I didn't know he only had 1 foot either.
Did I say what now?
They beat him out the foot.
What?
Oh, wait, time out. Take a break. What happened?
They beat him out. Meek and them beat him out the foot when they caught him.
When was this?
Like during the beef.
Wow. He lost his foot.
Oh, he always had 1 foot.
Oh,
But like they caught him lacking and beat him out the foot.
But they didn't beat him out the foot. He only had 1 foot. Did they beat him out the other
He
foot?
has a prosthetic.
Yeah.
Oh, beat him out of the prosthetic. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay. Yikes. I did not know that. Yeah. Okay, the tea for today.
His little bars, and now he
That's
got
it.
beat up out the foot.
Got beat up out the foot. The foot was still in the store. He was outside.
Yikes. Oh my God. Okay.
That was one of the funniest beefs in hip hop history.
Yikes. Yikes.
Look.
I'm dead. Chanel done pulled up a
Chanel
picture.
pulling up proof. Bye.
Oh my God.
He got that foot was still in the store.
This is so sad.
Okay, next case.
So sad.
What about? I want to talk about this live show. What did y'all learn about yourselves in the live show? Because that's what I typically have learned over four live shows I've done. 3 with He Man Woman His Club, 1 with Guys Next Door. After each one of them, I learned something about this baby I'm raising. What was it that you learned about yourselves or the podcast after the live show?
We got Alyssa.
Woo.
Shit.
Clap it up for Alyssa. Clap it up.
We got Alyssa.
Heard about cover letter Alyssa. Cover letter list.
Alyssa came
I mean,
when preparation. When preparation meets, what's the word?
I don't know.
Okay, you
Y'all know
got
I'm
Talent meets
tired. When
preparation?
talent meets
Yeah.
preparation.
when opportunity.
Oh,
meets
When
preparation.
opportunity.
Right. Okay.
Wait, this was like us struggling to
But
expel
God.
et cetera yesterday.
Yeah. Oh my
God.
God. Oh my God. You can't. You won't even let us talk about
No, we're not even going down that list. No,
We're definitely not
not
going
going
down
down that. I don't know what word
I'm
we
sorry.
are.
I